purpose of this screencast is to just give you an overview as to my very first piece of rapid e-learning that I developed during the summer of 2009, and it relates to the subject of display screen equipment awareness. It's a site-wide statutory requirement that everybody on site undertakes this once every 3 years. On first look, it looks quite flashy. We've got the animations taking place in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, the rolling animation taking place across the top banner. But you know, it wastes a lot of space. It looks very corporate, it looks very branded, and it looks very samey along with all the other pieces of e-learning that we've got. So let's have a quick look through this, and I'll bring out some of the positive aspects that I believe are in here, because there are some, and also some of the elements that I'd look to remove in the future or do differently in the future. First thing that the learner is directed to is to have a look at an overview here. There is a video taking place in the bottom corner of the screen here, as you can see. There's some text, and there's also a voiceover to the video itself. I think in the future I would remove the text and actually just concentrate on the video, because you know, a picture paints 1,000 words. It's rich, it's visual, it appeals to the learners because it's them, it's their colleagues, it's their workspaces, it's their colleagues' workspaces, and they can really relate to this. We've also got some flashcard exercises here, and the purpose of these is to show the learner that actually sitting at your workstation incorrectly can lead to just as many problems as actually conducting manual handling incorrectly. So it's almost a bit of a personal incentive for the learner to undertake the e-learning itself. We then look at the very dry, very traditional, very corporate looking list of objectives with the aim at the top. I think in the future I would look to remove these objectives and word them into the actual video overlay that we just saw a few slides ago, to make it again more engaging, more appealing, and less text heavy. What I'm really proud of with this particular piece of e-learning is that the learner actually has the opportunity to undertake a pre-assessment. So if they can actually demonstrate that they've got the requisite level of knowledge, and I stress the word knowledge, they don't have to undertake the subsequent learning. They can choose to undertake it if they wish to do so, but they don't have to undertake the learning. So the learner can undertake the pre-assessment, and I'm going to rattle through this very quickly. They go through there, they answer the questions. Some of them are single choice questions, some of them are multiple choice questions. They don't get any feedback other than whether they were right or wrong. So if they get it wrong, we're not giving them the answers. They have to go in and find the answers actually by looking through the learning itself. What I am slightly disappointed about with using this approach is all it is doing is actually checking knowledge. It's checking acronyms, it's checking positions of authority, it's checking who would you go to, who would you ask, where would you look for, what does this stand for, what does the other stand for. It's not really getting to the root of action-based e-learning, which is to actually get the learner to do something differently back in the workplace. As you can see here, I failed that pre-assessment. So I failed that particular module, or that particular pre-assessment, which guides me then on to the learning content itself. Once I have visited all of these subject areas, such as sitting correctly, mobile devices, eye strain, DSE stress, setting your monitor up correctly, simple exercise that you conduct at your workstation, supporting information, and using your keyboard and mouse correctly, I then progress on to a final piece of a final assessment, which checks again only my underpinning knowledge, which is unfortunate. Throughout the piece of e-learning there is some video footage showing people undertaking that particular skill correctly, so showing people how to sit correctly at their keyboard, how to set their workstation up correctly. There is then some text-based questions, again only checking the knowledge, and I progress through each of the modules like so before undertaking the final assessment at the end. There are some areas of this that I'm really proud of, but the overall general look, feel, and the fact that it only tests knowledge is something that I'm keen to do differently in the future.